Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and I'm very pleased to have with me today my good friend Tim Mandell of Leaseweb. Tim, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we're here on the first day of the Channel Partner Conference, the MSP Summit, and we ran into each other at Leaseweb. We've done a couple of podcasts in the past. We're going to be talking about what Leaseweb has to offer the MSP and the channel partner community. But first, what is Leaseweb?
So Leaseweb is a 28-year-old private and sovereign by design infrastructure as a service company. So, which I think to touch on the private and sovereign is a very huge key of who we are. So we provide anything from colocation to private cloud to public cloud to bare metal servers, storage, content delivery, and anything in between. So we provide a nice alternative to the hyperscalers out there. We do it with a lot more personality, and we're really getting invested in the community, such as the channel partners and the MSPs, which is the reason why I'm here today, to understand a little bit more how we can be more helpful and how we can go to market as a vendor agnostic partner and help them grow, and in turn we'll grow.
Now, let's define some terms. I've put private and sovereign up on the screen. What is private? What is sovereign? What are we talking about?
So the best way to describe it is we don't report to the street. So what is the value to the customer? As a company who doesn't report to the street, we make business decisions between ourselves and the people we're trying to attract as partners and do business with. I think the other thing it really means from a security standpoint is we don't have a target on our back per se, right? We're people who are going to commit nefarious things in the cyber world are going to look for probably the biggest impact targets. Leaseweb being private and not reporting to the street, not having some of that visibility becomes a true advantage for us, that we are much more secure. Just to give you an example, just to expand on it, if you don't mind, we cut a significant amount of revenue from people who put spam on our network. So what does that mean for MSP, and what does that mean for their clients? Is we're protective of our network security that you don't have to worry about that, because at the end of the day, someone we partner with has to trust us with their customers, and that's what we're trying to build, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And when you say street, it means you're talking about Wall Street.
Wall Street, yes, exactly.
And talk to me a little bit about that. Why would that matter?
Again, I think when you're not forced to report quarterly earnings, or you're not make your projections,
right.
And we all know what happens to companies who don't make projections, and if they miss their projections, they tend to go backwards and bad things tend to happen. With us, we're making individualized decisions on what's in the best interest of us, how can we support the customers, and what's in the best interest of the customer. So I think that being said, we're not attracting some of the bad actors on the network because we're very specific in our KYCs. Now, I know a lot of people complain about our KYCs because they're tough, but what it tells you is that we want to make sure we have the right people on our network, and we want to make sure we don't expose our customers to these bad actors. So again, I think that's just, sometimes we make decisions based on the almighty dollar. I think for Leaseweb, we're not making those decisions based on the dollar. We're making those decisions based on the best interest of both parties, and we're doing it with a conversation.
So that's really interesting to me. You actually curate your customers.
Yes. One of the things, and I've been here about a year, one of the things that has been kind of the thing that I wanted to do and change kind of the culture of Leaseweb USA in particular, and the sales forces go out and have better conversations. So a lot of our time has been focused on who are the right customers, how do you have the right conversations, how do you understand their business more, and it's about asking better questions and understanding what their business outcome is. Our solutions engineers always say, what problem are we solving? And what we're trying to do is decommoditize a commodity business. Infrastructure has been viewed as a commodity. I need this server, I can buy this server. I need this public cloud instance, I can go ahead and contract that. But what's behind it? What's the why behind that? And I think as a company, we're trying to do a better job understanding what the business outcome is for the customer and what technology matches that. You decommoditize that. And we need to be less transactional altogether.
And part of the process we were just discussing, actually you try to, because you're curating the customers, you're not doing this on a mass scale, you actually try to educate your customers a little bit better.
We try to educate them, and we try to put them in front of the right personnel in our organizations, whether it's in the US or whether it's globally, because we have a global footprint, and we try to put them through better questioning. We try to understand who's best fit in our organization to make sure that we're making the best decision on behalf of the customer. And more importantly, I think that the thing that we have to do is we got to make sure we can execute with the tech stack and with our knowledge base and the network that we have to deliver the expected outcome.
Tim, we're at MSP Summit. We're channel partners. What's your message for these folks this week?
I think the message for these folks is to make sure that we understand the value of the relationship, make sure that we understand that we're all better together versus the single individual, and understand where your business is going. Because what I've seen, especially lately, is technology is becoming more expensive. Lead times are becoming longer. Power is becoming the new gold and is very hard to come by.
Wow, yeah.
And we need to understand where we're going and what technology that takes, because it gets very expensive when we start throwing technology at a problem versus understanding the roadmap and being more planful. So my advice to some of the people who use technology and resell technology as a service is to get a little bit better at forecasting, get a little bit better at understanding who they're doing business with, and making sure they have someone walking the journey with them versus just selling them a commoditized product that they then in turn resell and hope they're going to get the margins. Being predictable is very key in this industry to survive.
Tim, I want to thank you today. Thank you for joining me today. This is really interesting. Infrastructure as a service. I think everyone needs to learn a little bit more about that. Tim Mandell, LeaseWeb. Where can we learn more about LeaseWeb?
You can go to www.leaseweb.com and you can find a little bit more about us there.
There's information there, and there's also some understanding and learning and so on.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of learning. We're under a website redesign right now. So interestingly enough, we took a lot of input from our customers to redesign our website. So you'll find some new things there as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much indeed for joining me today. I'm looking forward to our next encounter. But for now, thank you for being our second podcast here at Channel Partners.
Much appreciated. Thank you, sir.